Nick Rice, Hank Cinnamon from beautiful Candlestick Park on Thursday night. A potential preview of the NFC Championship game between two of the greatest franchises and two of the greatest teams in NFL history. McMahon's 85 Bears, Montana's 89 Niners. Hank, this is a matchup between two incredible clubs. We should have a great game tonight.
Yeah, biggest offense, biggest defense. We'll see if the universe explodes during this game.
Well, the DSFL has certainly exploded, and all the fans in preparation for this incredible game. The DSFL universe was anticipating these two clubs to run the table, and if there's anyone that could win the whole thing in the Dream Bowl, it's the Niners or the Bears. Chicago comes in 5-3 overall, first in the NFC North. 89 Niners have won 6 games in a row. Now it's 7-1, first in the NFC West. And the storyline coming in is very simple. As you could see, San Francisco's the best offense in football. Chicago's the best defense in football. And while they say defense wins championships, in a game such as this, you got to have the firepower of a Montana and a Rice.
I think they say defense wins championships, offense fills seats. So let's see which one comes out on top in this game.
Montana lobs one to a leaping Mike Wilson, but he is ruled short of the first down. Well, every seat is filled tonight in preparation of watching not only the offense of San Francisco, but we'll see it in just a moment, maybe the greatest running back in NFL history, Walter Payton of the 85 Bears. Dennis Gentry on a solid return brings it out to the 27-yard line, setting the stage for the Bears' first possession. Walter Payton is the league's premier runner this year, 766 yards and 9 touchdowns in just 8 games. He gets the call, and Payton powers his way to the 30. 3-yard pickup. Eric Wright makes the stop.
Yeah, and you got to get Walter Payton going real early in this game. I know the 49ers are decent on defense, but it's better to get that going so you can set up the play action.
Well, the play action certainly could be set up off of a run like that. A gain of 7 from Payton, and the historic Chicago Bears franchise with so many NFL championships ran the table in 1985 with a blowout in Super Bowl 20 over the Patriots, and Payton was a big reason why. He motors to the 43 on a gain of 7.
And when you have a great defense like the Chicago Bears have, you aren't really looking for as many points. So if you can stop the 49ers and just initiate this ground offense, you can really keep them on the field for too long, cause them to make adjustments on defense.
Another run, 4th in a row, and Gentry is swallowed up by Michael Carter for a loss. The Bears are one of only 2 teams in the NFC who run the ball more than they throw it. This is a backyard, old-school football team in Chicago. They'll pitch it on the 3rd down, and Payton is stuffed short of the marker. San Francisco came in, I'm sure, reading the scouting report. The Bears are going to run the ball, and it still took them a few plays to stop them, but they finally did. And Montana and company have the ball back as Buford sends it away to the 18. John Taylor heads to his right and is dropped at the 31-yard line, a 13-yard return.
I really want to see how the 49ers rebound on this one. They have decent field position. They know that the Bears are going to keep running the ball, so I feel like they just need to be ahead of the sticks and not make any mistakes.
Montana fakes the handoff, fires downfield. Taylor's got it, and it appeared was pulled down by the face mask. 17-yard gain and a first down. San Francisco's passing attack is an elite unit, among the best in the greatest team season, led by, of course, Montana. They'll go to the run, and Craig is stuffed by Steve McMichael for a loss.
Going back to that play before with John Taylor, some questionable officiating. I don't know. Looked like a face mask from where I was sitting.
Well, you know, I think that might be one of the few times that we see, or rather the officials have been at the headline to start the year. Jerry Rice gains 23. That's part of the game, though. Sometimes when you're facing a team like Chicago, they're going to make the officials make a call. They didn't there, and Rice takes advantage. Big pickup here.
Guess that's just let them play action fake to your Hall of Fame receiver. Looks like the 49ers are dealing close to the red zone.
Handoff to Craig. He breaks the tackle and is wrapped up by Richardson at the 28-yard line. The intriguing discussion about all-time best receiver, it seems it should be consensus that Jerry Rice is the best ever, but you hear guys like Terrell Owens and Randy Moss every now and then chirp that maybe they're better than Jerry Rice because of this number or that analytic. But Jerry Rice, I mean, he not only was the best receiver, in my opinion, he has a good argument to be the best player of all time. That's how good he was. Rice catches another deep ball to convert third down. The Bears bring the heat after him. It's a first down anyways for Rice.
I would have to agree with you there. All three receivers do different things. Randy Moss being a great deep threat and T.O. being a great slot guy. But Jerry Rice, being a great receiver, probably one of the best in the NFL.
Great receiving back, Roger Craig has it for the touchdown. He runs a simple Texas route in the middle of that defense. Ironically, that's where Mike Singletary typically roams. In fact, he was in on the hit, but Craig finds the end zone, and the Niners score first.
If you're the Bears, you got to make that tackle close to the end zone. That was pretty much a freebie touchdown as Roger Craig leans into it.
Yeah, Craig was stopped at the 3-yard line, then just fell forward to the end zone. Galtz to the 32. And that is where the Bears begin their next drive. Chicago had to punt on their previous possession.
I think you alluded to the fact that the Bears are a running team, but with Galt at receiver, he's a good threat to throw to for McMahon if he happens to be open deep.
Well, he was a former champion in track at the University of Tennessee and one of the fastest players in the 1980s, Willie Galtz. In fact, he is averaging 14 yards per catch this year as a real home run threat for this Bears offense. The incompletion from McMahon sets up 3rd and 12. Galtz is one of 3 receivers in the formation right now, an unusual wide package for Chicago and Mike Ditka. And on 3rd down, they're going to take a deep shot here. McMahon's looking long. He steps up in the pocket, shoots it downfield, and he missed Ken Marjoram on that pass. Marjoram, that is, and the Bears will punt.
Very good defense by the 49ers. Their pass rush is getting home. They're playing the Bears the way that you should, especially when you're getting them in 3rd and long situations.
And we played a quarter on Thursday Night Football, 2 of the greatest teams of all time. And as you can see, San Francisco's had the significant edge. They're moving the ball and also playing keep away from a Bears club that has just 1 first down so far today. Craig on the call, and he is buried by McMichael, who's had a great start to the season. He makes his 2nd stop of the half. Second and 10. Craig gets the handoff and sweeps to his right, and the Bears are ready for that play too. Craig came in top 8 in rushing average this year, so he's been very serviceable at the running back position. Granted, he does have a touchdown catch, but the Bears have done a great job of limiting him on the ground. He releases on 3rd and 10 over the middle to Brent Jones. He's got it for a gain of 17 and a first down.
Those 3rd and long completions for first downs are just a killer for a defense, because you're thinking, hey, we're 3rd and long, we can get off the field, but not so fast, says Joe Montana, as he makes a big completion there over the middle.
Leslie Frazier knocks down that deep ball to Taylor. A couple of back-breaking 3rd down conversions, to your point, Hank, and the last one earlier in the first quarter set up the Craig touchdown catch. He'll line up as the deep back, and after a missed tackle in the backfield, Craig is near the marker. The officials will bring out the chain gang.
Roger Craig's like, get off me, getting over the middle close to the first down marker.
That sort of broken tackle, even though he's short of the marker, you could put that on a highlight reel and send it to mom and all of your friends. Roger Craig had no business nearing that first down on that play.
And that's what that gang tackling does in those situations, but I expect them to try to stop him here, and they did.
Dan Hampton. That front 4 was as good as anybody in the NFL in 1985, and it seems by committee they're doing a good job against Craig. Deep kick, and Kofor hits it. One of the best kick or longest makes of the season from Kofor, that is, a former All-Pro kicker. It's 10-0 San Francisco. We are late in the first half on Thursday night. Galt from a yard deep breaks a tackle and is out of bounds at the 29-yard line. The Bears have leaned heavily on Peyton in the running game, but it hasn't worked for them so far.
Yeah, they're getting out of their element here. The 49ers are doing a good job stopping their run and forcing them to pass. They're going to have to make some adjustments here because Walter Payton's just kind of getting swarmed, and the 49ers know what's going on and where the coaching staff is putting the ball.
The 49ers, to your point, are 27th in defense, but they're having the first half of their lives against Peyton and the Bears. It's 3rd and 11 after the Pierce Holt tackle. First down make is at the 39, and the Bears are just 1 for 2 on 3rd down so far. McMahon on a deep drop, looks to his left, and that is dropped by Moorhead. He might have gotten the first down with a broken tackle, but that is really the epitome of a tough first half for Chicago.
Yeah, you can't be in long situations and throwing really short passes unless it's a screen pass and expect to be getting first downs. He's got to be throwing it past the sticks, past the first down marker. Even if you get an interception at this point, you're down by 10, at least you're trying.
Yeah, those are the sort of routes that'll drive a John Madden, rest in peace, crazy. Those short throws on a 3rd and long situation. Taylor can make a lot happen on a short throw. There he's tackled by the first defender on a gain of 7. Craig on the handoff, draws a face mask penalty on Wilson. First down, San Francisco.
There's that makeup call for the 49ers. Last in the first quarter, they missed the face mask, and I think it was Taylor or Jerry Rice. There we go. I think the referees saw this. They made the change after some insistence by Bill Walsh. So we'll see what happens.
That pass there is incomplete. Our coaching matchup is a Bill Walsh against a Mike Ditka. 2 totally different styles, Hank. You have a guy who's part of that West Coast intellectual offense. And yes, he also had the mentality to win with toughness, but the first part about how good they were was the offense. And of course, Mike Ditka and defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan built a different culture, a different mentality for the Bears in 1985. Montana goes deep, and that is dropped by Jones. Incomplete.
Yeah, so 4th down, you're in their side of the field. You stalled out. Kind of disappointing for the 49ers, but being so that it's the Bears defense, you're not too upset about it, but you're not giving away a lot of field position there after punting it into the end zone. So it's like 20 yards difference.
Right. Just the 4th drive of the game. Marjoram grabs the deep pass. Ronnie Lott makes the stop, but the Bears were desperate for a big play like that. Just their 2nd first down of the game, and the Bears are near midfield. McMahon on a deep drop, looks long. He'll take off and run and slides before he takes a hit. That's a gain of 4.
It seems like McMahon has the right idea now, throwing deep, seeing what he can get. I think he knows that if you throw deep and let's say you get an incomplete pass or an interception, at least it's kind of like a punt, or you're living to see another down by throwing it incomplete.
As you saw on the bottom, it's been a tough day for Chicago on 3rd down. In fact, it's been a tough season. They're one of the league's worst. James Manis, the rookie receiver from TCU, on a quick slant. With just over a minute to go in the half, his catch converts the team's opening 3rd down. McMahon guns it towards the end zone, and that is incomplete. A great job that time in coverage. Eric McGuire was one of the first there.
Being so that he's from TCU, I was halfway expecting him to be playing for the Chargers.
That's right. It is right. McMahon is hit as he throws, and that pass is nearly incomplete. Of course, the Chargers have a very exciting upcoming season, but the Chargers, no matter what year you put out of their history, could never sniff the excellence of the 85 Bears and the 89 Niners as of yet. And I'm talking about Charger fan right here. Walter Payton on a check down is near the first down. And that's one of those things, you look at it on paper, and it seems very duplicable, but it took a lot of great things to happen for these two clubs to build the championship clubs that they did in the 1980s.
Just a shame that the Bears weren't able to convert that first down by Walter Payton, just running a little bit harder, but they got that field goal, so at least they have those points going into the half. They just need to make sure that they stop the 49ers here.
Chicago defensively, as mentioned, the best in football, and they have shined this year, limiting opposing running backs, and the same story happens today. Roger Craig has been a non-factor, Hank, on the ground. He has really had maybe his worst half all year in this game tonight, which isn't too big of a surprise.
If you just notice how the Bears are positioning their defensive line, everybody's in close. The whole defensive line is in close. There are a lot of guys in the box, and that's really causing them to make these stops. I don't understand why the 49ers kept calling timeouts if they were just going to run the ball. That doesn't make any sense. I guess you could claim that the Bears would call the timeout anyway, but you would rather them call the timeouts than you call your timeouts so that they don't have as many timeouts to get them down the field and stop the clock.
Yeah, very perplexing play calling and timeouts there for San Francisco. And that gives the Bears an opportunity here to sneak some late points in before the half, but McMahon throws a dangerous pass. That is knocked away from Payton. 14 seconds left. Where the Bears feel compelled to take a deep shot. What's your play call here, Hank?
Yeah, you got to possibly play action fake. McMahon has had some close interceptions on this drive and the last drive, and even right there. Man, you just got to get the ball over the defender's head. Give your receiver a chance to catch it, and he's just not doing that consistently in this game.
Well, they will try and milk out the rest of this clock with a draw to Payton. Oh, timeout's called here. Maybe they figured Payton would rip off a deep one. 4th and 4 with 5 seconds left. The Bears are going to go for it. I'm sure they figure a stop wouldn't do much with the half almost over. McMahon shoots it deep. McKinnon makes the grab. And for all those fantasy football owners of Dennis McKinnon, that'll certainly help you out a little bit there. We've reached the half. The Niners have racked up 99 pass yards, as you see on the right, but only 16 rushing yards. It hasn't mattered much as the Niners lead the Bears 10-3. And that concludes the first half. Nick Rice, Hank Cinnamon, a massive Thursday night football battle between two of the best teams in NFL history. And Galt returns to the 25, and Antonio Goss makes the stop. Bears take over there to begin the third.
I'm looking for the Bears to have a little bit more offense, even if it's on the ground. Maybe you've got some locker room adjustments during the half. Maybe you can cause yourself to do something. And Walter Payton, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down the right side to around midfield. Biggest run of the game?
Biggest run for anybody of the game. Not much stumbling by Bears runners, but a couple of Niners fell down trying to slow down Walter Payton, and there really is no stopping Payton when he gets ahead of steam like that. Over 5 yards a run again for Walter Payton. That run puts him over 800 yards this season. A quick flip in the flat for Marjoram. He's out of bounds on a gain of 6.
He's got to be one of the toughest to face in the open field, probably like top 5 or top 10. I wouldn't want to go up against him one-on-one, especially if I'm like a 200-pound corner.
Payton near the first down, and you saw that stat on the bottom. It's amazing how good Payton's been with the next to last passing game in the league. Now, part of that is attempts. They're not airing it out every game, but the defense knows they're going to run it, and they still can't stop him.
Well, that is true, but that hasn't been true for most of this game. Besides that big run, the Niners have done really well stopping Payton, and it looks like it should be a first down. Personally, I guess that yellow line doesn't tell us everything.
The unofficial yellow line, that is a first down. And, you know, Hank, that's not the first time you've given a comment about the ball spot here and some of the calls in this game. And it seems as though, as Walter Payton tries to get outside, there is that margin of error in a game like this that could play the difference.
Yeah, you can't really trust the officiating all the time. Obviously, whatever they say goes. They do their best with the human eye. It's not easy to watch the game as quickly as it is. But sometimes there are things that you even in the crowd can see it, or on TV can see it, and you're like, maybe they need to do a little bit better with that.
Have a guy upstairs reviewing things in the moment. Third down, a check down to Emory Moorhead. No debate whether he got the first down there. Gain of 6. The tight end moves the chains, and the Bears have put together their most promising drive of the game, coming right out in the second half with a terrific drive. Inside run to Gentry, the veteran from Baylor, on his 4th carry. That's a gain of about 4, maybe 5. And the Bears are playing keep away. That might be the best strategy to slowing down Montana, is keep him on the sideline. Midway through the third, Bears down 7.
Yeah, the best way to keep him out is on the sideline. That's true.
A good play call here to Willie Galtz. Get him in open space, gain of 8 and a first down. It seems the Bears have a pretty good game plan going right now.
Yeah, those halftime adjustments in the locker room have been doing diligence to them. They're doing a lot better, at least right now.
McMahon throws an incompletion to Tim Reitman. Better mix of run and pass. Chicago's in the red zone for the first time today. And with 2:17 to go in the third, facing the vaunted Niners, every point matters the rest of the way. Handoff to Payton. He breaks a tackle and another. There's a third from Payton, and he's in for the touchdown. What a spectacular run from Payton. The Bears tie it if they hit the extra point. Sensational run from Sweetness.
That's another get off me, running it into the end zone for the touchdown. They needed that to tie the game. Let's see how the 49ers respond.
That's the sort of run you see in the backyard as a grown man is facing kids. It seemed Walter Payton just could not be stopped. 3 broken tackles and an incredible run to tie the game at 10. And while McMahon has made a couple of plays, the 49ers have had a tough time stopping just one guy. Wildcat formation, not too often you see this in a Bill Walsh offense. And Craig has his best run of the day. Good for a Niner first down.
I think these Wildcat situations they knock the defense off their game because they're not expecting it. And really, the running back with a head of steam, he's catching the ball and he's just running forward. Hard to stop. Hard to stop
John Taylor as he grabs it on a deep post pattern. That is a first down for San Francisco. But in terms of that Wildcat you mentioned, it actually surprised me that the Wildcat formation was less of a mainstay, more of just a facade that teams would use briefly in the early 2010s. The Wildcat formation, there are so many options, like a read option. I guess maybe that's the evolution of it. But the Wildcat worked very well, and I'm pretty surprised it didn't work for longer. Montana on second down. Looks downfield, shoots it deep. Taylor makes the catch, and he's down inside the 5.
Going back to the Wildcat, I think it was successful for Miami because they had a bunch of running backs who were powerful and quick, and some of which that could pass. Then they just did it to, like, if you're a quarterback and you're fast, you can use it. But obviously it didn't last very long because some of these guys weren't threats as passers.
Right. Montana is intercepted by Dave Duerson, and he's down to the 2-yard line. A goal and opportunity wasted by San Francisco.
You know what they say, if you're going to do something, give it to Duerson. Let him handle it for you, and you'll get good results. That's just a huge shot in the chest for the 49ers, who are having a really good drive. And you're just giving it to the Bears and Walter Payton, and it's looking like daylight down the left side. They stopped him.
Ronnie Lott, if anyone's going to save a touchdown, it's the Hall of Fame safety. Duerson doing something, right, Hank? And that leads to the biggest momentum swing of the game. Niners in 2 plays go from 1st and goal at the 5 to giving up the Bears 1st and goal at the 7. What a swing, make it the 8. Walter Payton sweetness with a sensational second half for Chicago. First and goal from the 8-yard line. A Gentry in, giving Payton a much-needed rest. That pass at the line is knocked away. This game is completely turned on its head, Hank.
At best, this is a 6-point swing because the Niners probably could have gotten at least a field goal, but then you make a mistake like that, and it's hard to recover from if you allow a big rush.
Touchdown, Tim Reitman, as the officials confirm. And the Bears have taken the lead, and it took them just 3 plays on that incredible drive. The extra point from Butler is good.
I guess Matt Millen knows a catch for a touchdown like he knows how to draft for a football team.
Well, not very good, but good enough there. And the Bears jump in front, 17-10. San Francisco has the ball back at the 30, but I got to tell you, Hank, I'm a little confused about the Matt Millen thing. What did you mean by that?
So Matt Millen was the guy in the end zone who was signaling an incomplete pass, and we know that he wasn't very good at being the GM for the Lions. So I was just making a reference to the fact that he knows completions for touchdowns like he knows how to draft. I think the Lions wanted him gone in their fans.
For a while.
For sure.
Yeah. I think they wanted him gone the moment, he made his first couple of decisions that helped build that horrible team in the 2008 era and beyond. So I'm with you there. It was pretty obvious that the pass was complete. So all the way along, it was an intriguing thing. And the Tim Reitman touchdown caps off a third quarter of dreams for Chicago. I mean, San Francisco leads at 10-0, and then the Bears have come storming back, and they've done it with everything, with offense, defense, and special teams. That Dave Duerson interception was the play that sparked it all. Another Wildcat formation in the bag of tricks from the Niners coaching staff, but this time the Bears are ready for it.
I think it all has to do with stalling out on their drives. When you get into the opponent's territory, you got to get points. And if you don't get points, it's kind of a failure. I know that the Bears are an amazing defense, but when you're on their side of the field, you got to try to go for the field goal and not go for getting punts and throwing interceptions.
Yeah, and of all guys to make that mistake, granted he's facing the vaunted 85 Bears, but Joe Montana is the last guy to anticipate that. He only had 5 picks on the entire season before that throw. Craig, those numbers look really even better than how he played most of the game. He started to turn some things around in the second half of this one. Rathman is the new back, and he's running out of real estate. In fact, he loses 2. Richard Dent, the Hall of Famer from Tennessee State, for a loss of 2 on that play.
Well, I think they say with Craig, men lie, women lie, and I like to put it like this. Sometimes stats lie.
Brent Jones makes the catch for the first down. Well, then if that's the case, by your logic, officials lie from time to time. But we could get on that whole thing in another day. We don't want to get fired here on DSFL radio. Roger Craig.
You could say sometimes they're just mistaken.
Oh, very, very nice of you. Second down, and Jerry Rice. The Bears, maybe the mistake wasn't doubling him. Third grab of the game. It's first and goal.
And again, those slant passes over the middle, deadly when you're in the zone.
Flagler gets the call, spins away at the 5, and he's down to the 3-yard line. That Bears defense is reeling now. What might get lost in the storyline was that the Bears defense gave up some big plays on that drive, ending in the interception, and they are retreating yet again. Handoff to Tom Rathman, and he sneaks in for the touchdown. With an extra point, we are tied yet again.
Tom just showed the Wrath Man on that one. The Bears were looking for a stop there. They crowded the line, and the Niners just plowed through it with the biggest guy they had, with all the wrath that he had.
You'd make a pretty good dad, Hank Cinnamon, with all your corny boomer jokes. Walter Galt, did the 38-yard line. 2:19 left in the ball game, and Jim McMahon, which I'm sure you got another joke of McMahon up your wheelhouse at some point, the former Pro Bowler from BYU, deep to Moorhead, and there is a tackle from Eric Wright, an interesting one of the 46-yard line.
Well, he's just a man, McMahon. I don't know. That's the best that I could give for that one.
I'll give you the 2-minute warning to figure that one out. 5-yard gain, and now the Bears have something brewing here. The play calling is interesting as well, as the Bears could be the last team to touch the football if they play this right. At the 40, they'll go run against the blitz, and Peyton's pulled down just across the line. And the Bears are going to run the no huddle here despite the game being tied. Interesting decision. Blitz. Deep jump ball to Marjoram, and he makes the catch. A leaping grab, 13 yards and a first down.
Yeah, the no huddle is interesting. You got to be playing that 4-minute offense if you were, under 2 minutes and you got to score. You want to be the last one to touch the ball. So that was interesting. Maybe they just wanted to get them off their game. You don't really care about the clock if you're going to score a touchdown. Maybe bleed their timeouts. Definitely interesting.
Well, San Francisco uses one of them right here, so the Bears have San Francisco right where they want them. Inside run, and Peyton squirts through to the 19. Fitting that Peyton would be the guy to try and close out the rest of this game. He is certainly the player of the game today with how he performed throughout the second half especially. Another sweet run from Sweetness Walter Payton. First down, Chicago.
Yeah, hopefully they don't do a thing where they give off the player of the game before the game ends and then the other team wins.
This is
that
Madden 10, man. They're going to definitely do that. Definitely. Even if the opponent is at the 1-yard line going for the win. Peyton on the handoff. And he is stuffed there, but time is on their side. The Bears could milk the rest of this and set up Kevin Butler for the field goal. Butler came in on just 67% on field goals this year, so it's been tough for them all season. Peyton is drilled for a loss by Ronnie Lyles.
Okay, why do you call a timeout here? That just doesn't make any sense. That's like the 1 minute, 1 second timeout. When the Niners have none and you're trying to bleed it out, you want to get as much time off the clock as you can.
Perplexing for sure. Jet sweep to the speedster, Willie Gaultz. He is spilled at the 7. They do not use a timeout here. Butler, as mentioned, a much maligned season for him. The rookie out of Georgia from 24 for the lead. They do not bleed enough of the play clock. The kick is good, but the Niners have some time to go.
And like we said, Joe Montana is one of those quarterbacks. You don't want him to have the ball last. A minute isn't a long time, but it could be an eternity, especially if all he needs is a field goal to go to overtime.
Mike Ditka is going to lean on that defense to win the game. And, of course, a San Francisco touchdown would win it for them. They need about 40 yards to enter field goal range for Kofor, who has a long of 51 this season. Montana to Jones, a seam route for the first down. Every fan in Chicago is with bated breath watching Montana drive him downfield, and they're going to get an extra 5 yards here on the Bears.
Yeah, you can't just dilly-dally around while you're going back to the line if you're on the defense. They're going to snap the ball, and if you're on the other side, that's too bad for you. 5 extra yards, 29 seconds. This is not where you want to be if you're the Bears.
1st and 5. Montana over the middle to Jones. With a dangerous situation for the Bears. 2 quick passes for Montana, and they have gotten here, I'm sure, way earlier than the Bears are comfortable with. 15 seconds. San Francisco from here would have a 53-yard field goal, and as mentioned, their kicker made one earlier this year from 51. 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Blitz. Montana fires over the middle. Wilson has got it, but he is inbounds. Let's see if they
gotta get to the line. You gotta get to the line.
4, 3 seconds to go. Montana under center. He does not get the snap off. San Francisco had a chance for overtime, but they finished 1 second late. And that's how close they were. With Jim McMahon breathing a huge sigh of relief, the 85 Bears win it on Thursday night.
I think Mike Dick has to breathe that sigh of relief more because he almost costed his team the game with all those timeouts.
Absolutely. Bears win it by a field goal.